This is the will of the goddess, Tosin said from behind her. Water sloshed as he climbed from his bath. Once I have slain the Kizili Heshene, I will bring her body to the great temple and lay it as a sacrifice on the altar. From the ashes, and by the blood of the devout, our prince will be reborn. It will be Raka, the goddess made flesh, like the days of old. You see, I said I would secure the throne, but I never said for myself. Akani trembled hard enough that her shackles rattled. Tears streaked her face. It was you? She whispered, her eyes on her brother's unchanging face. The man in the cloak, it was you? Yes, it was me. Seth's voice had deepened with the approach of manhood. Both of them had one season before they were of age. She dropped to her knees, doubled over. Why? She asked the dirt between sobs. Because it was up to me to set things right, Seth shifted, and his hands pressed on her shoulders as he knelt in front of her. You had strayed so far from the path, and Baba refused to bring you back. I begged him. He said it was not our place, that we should give you time. Seth's hold tightened. But time is not something we had. Baba was fading. I saw it. I know you did. He would not see the next turn of the season, and you were moving further and further from the light. He would be dead, and with you being the eldest, Amma's throne would pass to a Hessian. The goddess would surely destroy us all. I swear to you, sister, I do this out of love. Love for our people, love for our goddess, love for Amma. If she could see you now, see how far you've fallen, she would weep. Akani wept, and as she did, Seth's fingers stroked her hair like he used to when they were little. I went to Tosin with my concerns. He prayed and fasted, and the goddess granted him a vision, a way for us to avoid the destruction of Ormek, of so many innocent lives. This plan. It broke my heart. I did not want to see the truth of what needed to be done. I thought I could avert this future another way. At our cousin's wedding, I asked Baba to consider passing the throne to me. He refused, even when I told him of my fears. Do you know what he said? To the deep with the goddess. Seth's voice trembled. Can you believe that? Akani stopped crying, her fingers curled in the earth. I am stone. Her heart pounded in her ears, but she heard her brother's words ring clear. I asked one last time when we returned home. He said it was blasphemy. Him! Accuse me of being Hessian, after what he said. The anger in Seth's voice would have frightened her before, but an icy hardness had poured through Akani and encased her wailing heart. I knew what I had to do. I knew it would be hard, but all trials are. And so you have completed this one, Tosin said from somewhere above her. The goddess will be pleased. And when your body is burned on the altar, sister, for your sins, you will be purified. Your will to you will be able to go to her. There it was, the joy and light-heartedness she was used to, hearing in her brother's voice. So much of him seemed the same, and yet was different. She hoped, she prayed, that at least his habit of keeping a dagger hidden in his usual spot had not changed. Get her up, Tosin snapped. Hands gripped her shoulders. That's when Akani snatched the rim of her brother's right boot. Crouched as he was, he couldn't pull away fast enough, and her fingers curled around the hilt, twirling the weapon easily in her hand with the ability 3 years of daily training had taught her. Drove it up and into the soft, giving flesh of her brother's belly. He screamed. Something warm and slick poured over her hands as she worked the knife back and forth, getting her legs underneath her. She surged upward, throwing his body off her. He fell over, clutching at his guts as they spilled onto the dirt. Guard! Tosin bellowed, even as the flap of the tent was already drawing open. In that instant, the pain, the anger, the fury Akani had worked to contain exploded outward. Fire swept through her entire body. She let it consume her, then let it flow. White flames erupted from her skin. The guards and the soldier from before, having rushed for her with weapons drawn, recoiled. Fear took their faces and lit their eyes. Their swords crashed to the ground as they turned and fled, leaving Tosin to his fate.